graphics and action captions. So what is graphics and action captions? Are you a visual person? Do you love reading stuff with lots of diagrams that conveys a message, that gives you the feel for the solution? If so, you will thoroughly enjoy this chapter. It's a very important chapter as well. So action captions and graphics, it's all about, if you look carefully around it, it's about appropriate usage. You need to know when to use, where to use, and how to use. Overloading with lots of diagrams might dilute the key message of what you are conveying to the reader. So it's all about defining the message as an action caption, then take it to the next level as a concept, then go for the rendering process, and finally get it to the final design stages. 4 different stages. Action caption, the key message. Go for conceptualizing your action caption as a diagram. Go for the rendering. Number 4, go for the actual final development. If you read the Word document that accompanies this module, you will understand the graphical element of the 4 stages in a detailed way. So why do you develop a graphic, and how can you ensure that it stays in the same way? So as I mentioned, if you follow the 4 stages, your graphic process will follow what we call a customer focused template. Your simple methodology of designing a graphic is it succinct? Is it clearly giving the message of the reader, whether he could read it? He can't read it in a detailed way, but your one image, your one graphic conveys the message in a more succinct, customer focused way. Is it aesthetically balanced? Your design choices that you are using, whatever the way that you're using, whatever the tools that you're using, is it aesthetically balanced? That again is a key principle. Does it follow meaningful aesthetic principles? If you are a designer, graphic professional, you might know more about this. As I mentioned, I'm a non-designer. I haven't done much graphics, so I'm just going to talk in theory. But if you do want to get your hands dirty, please do play with any of the graphic tool to understand how you can design this sort of templates. So your key design, keep it basic, keep it simple. And the different forms of design that you can focus on, the color. Every color gives you a meaning, so just be careful. In our branding, for example, we use blue and gray. Blue trusts, fun, loving. It's important for us. That's how we position ourselves. You know, some countries, it's different colors means kind of they feel differently. Yes, so choose your coloring carefully, and the styles that you are using, again, as I mentioned, follows simple styling, because your color and your style convey the mood. So you need to be careful with how you play with the graphic around it. Keep it consistent. Your design needs to be consistent across. Don't use blue on one end, orange on the other, amber on the thing. It just confuses. Keep it simple and consistent. If you are a graphic professional, you will know what I mean by grid, right? Every graphic has an invisible grid underneath, and this invisible grid gives you the spacing for that you could clearly design a graphic in an aesthetic format. If you're not a designer, just remember grid is just inside a graphic that just follows a certain spacing that ensures that the graphic is done in an aesthetically sensitive way. Balance, keep it stable, keep it simple, stable, convincing. The other important point is shapes, because every shape gives you different perception. So how are you going to use these 6 principles? The color, the style, the consistency, the grid, the balance, and the shapes. Very, very, very important. Number 4, templates. Please do create your own design template even before you start designing the elements. It's so important for consistency. Consistency is the word I've repeated already 10 times. It is important, believe me, it is important. Number 5, if you are going for validation, if you are going to validate the graphics, you are validating the graphics in 2 different ways. One, your validation happens on the content. Okay, does your graphic clearly sells your content, Secondly, your validation comes from the graphical perspective, which is like, is it aesthetically balanced? That's how you do validation. So remember, when you're playing with it, obviously there are different file formats. If you know JPJ, there are, if you're doing, there are lots of movie types. So what type of formats that you're going to use, please do know the difference. Everything comes with its own resolution. Everything needs to be compressed into a certain format. Please ensure that there is consistency. Even this video that you're seeing, I need to compress it later to bring it into a decent enough bandwidth for me to upload and watch. So same thing for messages as well. These graphics are going to make your document heavy. So if you have an electronic submission, choosing the right format is very, very, very important. Yes. So copyright. If you are taking images from elsewhere, remember, most images have copyright behind them, and there are genuine websites where you could buy free images which doesn't go through copyrights. Yes. So if you are planning to take images elsewhere, please do ensure you are not getting stuck in the copywriting principles, right? Let's do a quick recap. Appropriate usage. Know when to use, where to use, how to use, right? It's very, very, very critical. Then let's move on. Follow meaningful aesthetics where possible. Then your design strategies, the 6 things I told you. I'm not going to reiterate. I'm going to leave it to you to just find what the 6 things are. Create a design template for consistency. Follow, if you are using different file formats, please ensure that those are clear and it doesn't increase your file size. Finally, beware of the copywriting law. So what are the pitfalls? What are the pitfalls? Quickly. Number 1, don't use it if you don't need to use it, right? Don't just add it just for the sake of it. More detail than needed, right? Don't add it just because you want to feel it. It doesn't add any information to the client, right? Please avoid adding anything if it doesn't mean anything. Number 2, failing to clearly explaining yourself in the graphic. What does it actually convey, right? Again, that could be your pitfall. Finally, design mistakes. Design mistakes, fatal flaw. People get the picture pretty quickly, and if that's not working, then you are in deep problem. So all these things critical. Most important thing is understand the style, look into copywriting principles, create your graphics in a way it sells your solution carefully. So I'm just opening it up for you to just see how you have currently present in your graphics in the past, in the present. Very, very important. If you're a graphics professional,